What's up? Welcome to a very special edition of On the Line. I'm joined by fan favorite Brian Kelleher of the UFC. How we doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. How's everything?
Dude, things going great, going great. You got a big fight coming up August 21st. But a couple days ago, you coughed and blew out your back. How's your back doing?
My back's doing a lot better, man. It's crazy. Like I'm 34 now, so I think things are changing a little bit. But I did like a strength and conditioning workout. Then I decided to run a couple miles like afterwards. And I guess I was still a little stiff and I coughed like real hard because I got a deviated septum. So like I'm a mouth breather and everything. And I coughed and like my back locked up. And I was like, I have to stop running right now. Like what's going on, And it was like scary for a second because I thought maybe the pain would keep getting worse because it locked up. But now, a couple days gone, it feels a lot better.
If it makes you feel any better, like I'm not in the best of shape. I know I work for a fitness company, but like I'm not like out here with the six pack and everything. I was playing basketball the other day and I coughed and I blew up my back too. So
Dude,
I'm only
it's
25, so like it just happens.
yeah, man. You're in your prime. You're 25. So I mean, if it's happening to you, I don't feel so
Yeah, you
bad.
shouldn't feel. I mean, you're a professional fighter, and so one question
Yeah.
I got to ask for everyone who may not be in the know, I kind of know, but can you explain what baldy ed is?
It's kind of, self-explanatory, but it was a thing that Darren Till, from the UK, he's another
Yeah.
UFC fighter. He started like, this whole Baldy Ed community thing, and he was saying like I was his favorite Baldy Ed, and he would watch my fights and root for me, and that's kind of where it all stemmed from, and I just kind of ran with it from there, and people loved it, especially from over there.
Oh, especially when you give into it too, and you kind of go with the joke, it makes it 1,000 times better. When did you
Yeah,
kind of?
I guess over in the UK they say baldy Ed instead of baldy head. I guess it's like a UK thing.
I guess I don't know. I've never heard it before
Yeah,
until started watching the UFC, and every time I'd watch a fight, and there's a bald guy, Darren Till would be like baldy ed.
yeah,
So when
another
did you?
baldy Ed.
Another baldy ed. When did you accept the whole going bald thing? When did you kind of be like, fuck it, dude, I got to do this?
Oh God, man! We have shitty genetics in the Kelleher family. All of us have like lost. All of us are losing our hair at like probably about 24, 25. I realized my hair was thinning, and I had like a mohawk, right?
Yeah.
And I was watching one of my fights back, and the camera angle was like above my head, and I see like half a mohawk, a bald spot, like a huge bald spot, and then the rest of my mohawk, and I'm like, this looks terrible. I'm like, I'm definitely shaving this. Like, this is what am I doing? Like, why am I holding on to this? So I'm just thankful I got like a round head. It's not bad. I feel, at least with my beard, like the bald is fine.
You can't go bald and not have a beard. If you don't have a beard, it just
Oh,
looks it does
it's
not look
weird.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When was the last time you
Even
shaved
when
a
it's like
beard?
really short, it feels weird. Like I just look at myself, I feel like it's too naked, my face.
It's like a baby face mixed with old man head. Doesn't look
Yeah,
good. Yeah. When was
yeah.
the last time you shaved it? Has it been
I had a
years?
job like when I was a professional coming up before the UFC. I had a job at this place where they would make us shave our face. We had to wear like face masks and stuff in there, whatever. We had to shave our beards. So
Oh
I
fuck.
hated that, but it was just part of the job. And I remember it just like I wanted to like quit my job just to grow my beard back.
And when did you realize you were going to be a fighter? Like, like were you like a hockey goon? I know you're big into hockey. Like, what was the thing that kind of
Yeah,
got you
I
into
played
it?
all different sports. I played soccer my whole life since I was like 5 years old, and then I played ice hockey in high school. My mom worked at a bowling alley. I ended up started bowling. I bowled in high school and college too. Like I was pretty much a well-rounded athlete. I played all different sports, but I started watching the sport, at 18,
Yeah.
like 17, 18, and then me and my friends were like really into it, and we, Chuck Liddell was like my guy. He was my favorite fighter coming up, and we just were like fantasizing about doing this. Like I never wrestled or anything like that. I didn't have a background, but I was just like fascinated by the sport, and I always had that intensity, that competitive edge in me. Always wanted to win so bad. I had a lot of fire, passion in me to win. So I was like, man, I feel like I could do something like this. And like me and my friends would wrestle around for fun, and I would always do well, even against like bigger guys that were heavier than me and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna try this out. It all just kind of happened like it was meant to be. There was a gym, an MMA gym opened up like the next town over during this time period, and it was just like perfect. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to try this place out, see what happens. we go to this gym, we sign up, and like 2 months into training, they're like getting us fights already. They're just like rushing us into this situation because these guys were coaches and they were trying to build a team, build a fight team and start up their dream as like managers and coaches. So they put us right into the fire. I fought my first amateur fight like 2 months into training, and I won by TKO. And like I got addicted to it.
Yeah.
I love the whole lifestyle and everything about it.
What's more satisfying, getting a choking someone out or knocking their lights out?
Definitely a knockout. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it because I don't really want to hurt someone like that, But like for some reason, when you knock someone out, it's like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just the most thrilling feeling. Like it's just one punch lands, you feel it like clean, and it's just done. And some guys say the opposite though. Some guys say it's more fulfilling to dominate someone for 3 rounds because they couldn't touch you. Like it would. There's no luck involved. You just completely outclassed them.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're striking someone, if you knock them stiff, that is skill. That's not luck. Like, you're getting them clean in the
No.
shot. Like, I don't. So, like, I don't get that theory. I know people think like
Yeah.
that, and you see people fight like that, but no, I'm with you. I think it's one of those things where if you go for a finish, it's not luck. You have to have some kind of, especially at the UFC level too. Like, you have to have some kind of skill to knock someone out clean.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it just seems like that because anybody can be knocked out. Like
Yeah.
if you throw a hard punch at someone, you knock someone out. Like most people can knock someone out, like depending where the punch lands. But yeah, it's like you're setting this knockout up. You're going through trials and tribulations during the fight to find that knockout and to have that placement and see things and a certain vision. You know what I mean? So people don't really calculate that all the time. They just think like, oh, you got lucky, you landed a hard punch.
Yeah, and then you also love throwing guillotines. I swear to God, every time someone goes
Yeah.
for goes for takedown, you're right in there. Do you consider yourself the guillotine king?
Dude, it's yeah. I'm going for guillotines like 5 times a day, every jujitsu practice. Like it's just my thing, Like everyone has like these certain moves that like your body is just made for that move. Like you feel it, and you start hitting it on people, and it gets better and better. You start hitting it on higher level guys, and then you just know like this is something I need to go for. And like for me, that's my move. Like guillotines are like something like if instead of sprawling, sometimes I'm just gonna latch onto your neck and make you feel threatened as far as taking me down or trying to shoot a shot on me with the head outside. Like I'm always gonna be threatening that choke, which is great because it's going to stop people from wanting to shoot on you, So it works in many different ways. I love it for the fact that it's the threat that you could submit them, but you could also use it for defense and you can use it to sweep a guy over and get a better position.
Who do you think loves the guillotine more, you or Poirier?
He says, "Don't be silly, jump the gilly." I love it. It's hilarious.
It's awesome.
I don't know, man. I think me because I probably have more guillotine finishes. I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
have
We'd have
one.
to
He
we'd have to
doesn't
check
have
the
one.
records.
Yeah, you have more finishes. He I think he's just more well known for it just because he just pops it all the time and he almost got Habib with it once. But yeah, I
Yeah,
digress. I digress.
he's a bigger name, so I
Yeah.
get it. But people know like that's my thing. Like I'm going for that no matter what.
The streets know Brian Kelleher is the guillotine king.
Streets,
The
baby.
streets know. And so a couple fights back, you went viral for having the Stone Cold Steve Austin music coming
Yeah.
out to all that. Yeah, the whole plan for it. They kind of wouldn't do it because they're kind of dumb with their whole rules about walkouts. But this last fight, you came out to TS of the business, dude. What the fuck?
What do you mean? No
You could
good?
do you
No
think
good for me?
you could have had like another like WWE thing. I got a list like ready to go for what you could have done.
I'm willing to hear the list, man, because I'm always switching up
All
my
right.
entrance music. I kind of go off how I feel. So I mean, let's hear the list. I mean, the Stone Cold thing was cool, but I felt like I kind of stole something. So I was like,
Oh
I
well,
don't
that
want to steal someone's gig.
see that was part of my thing. I think you should embrace like the whole I'm gonna bring the WWE entrances in. One I know for a fact you get away with. You can do the Triple H one. Come out to the game, get the bottle of water, do the spit thing, and everything. You can do it all. I
Yeah,
swear to God, you could do that. Bam,
that's a
go
whole lot.
viral.
Yeah,
Another music you can go out to is Mark Henry gonna get your ass whooped. That's a great one, classic.
that's a good one.
That's a
Yeah,
classic.
I mean, dude, if you can get some viral stuff going, that's like one of the big things in this sport. Like we have to wear these Reebok and the Venom uniforms, so like
Yeah.
in order to give the fans something to follow and some kind of character that they like to see, like you have to be able to get creative and do stuff like this.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's just it sucks too because I know like Stephen Thompson had that like he got that robe, the nicest motherfucker robe, and he
Yeah.
couldn't wear it out in, like, in his walkout. That would've been so cool. Like, that
I
would've been
know, it's
awesome.
unbelievable. They steal these opportunities, it sucks, like, it'd be so cool. I feel like people would relate more to the fighters, and you would get a bigger fan base from that kinda stuff.
It's kind of one of the coolest things about boxing. Like Izzy had a thing. He walked out. He had a pretty cool like samurai thing he had going on. That was cool. But imagine if he didn't have to show off all the Venom gear, dude. He would have done something pretty badass.
Yeah, and like I feel like they let certain guys do stuff. Like they get a little bit lenient with like bigger stars, you know. But
Yeah,
like for the regular guys, they don't let you do anything. Like some girls, they try to wear like some kind of makeup, get up, like the Happy Warrior. Roxanne Modafferi, she does like a weird thing.
yeah.
Angela Hill sometimes, but like you have to kind of come up with something where there's no brand names in sight, but you can get creative and have like a character going.
Have you thought about trying? I don't know if Venom has camo like apparel yet, but you've thought about coming out in camo and coming out to John Cena's music.
Someone already stole that idea. You know, Bryce
No,
Mitchell.
yeah, yeah.
That
But
yeah,
he didn't
he
come out to
wanted the
John
camo
Cena's
shirt.
music. You can't see me. You're in all camo.
I know, I know. I was gonna do the tie dye shorts. That's what I was asking for like 2 fights ago. I was kind of trying to take a little dig at Sean O'Malley and kind of steal, steal the whole vibe. But they won't budge on stuff like that. Like it's like you
Oh.
have to be like a superstar level guy to kind of get them to budge with certain things. You know?
Yeah, the tie-dye shorts are probably a little too much for them. I mean, they
Yeah,
really went out of their way to let have people do rainbow on their shorts for in their
yeah,
name. That was
yeah.
really
That one
that was
fight.
out of character for the UFC.
I know, I know. It's rare. They don't usually do stuff like that, but
No, never. Did you ever find the footage though of like you stone cold stunning your
no,
coach?
I'm so pissed off about that because I'm like, after a fight, you have all this adrenaline. You don't think you're gonna remember your little plan, and I remembered like last second. I was like, oh my god, he's walking towards me. Let's hit this right now. Like I tried to give him the eyes, like yo, we're doing this, and like I landed, and everyone in there was laughing and having a good time, but they missed it on the camera because I guess the timing of it, they were trying to get us, announcing the winner, so they were trying to get us to the middle of the cage, and I guess
Oh
the cameras were
no.
focused on the middle instead of on me where I was, and I was so mad because I thought that was gonna be awesome, like to be able to post that clip.
Bro, that sucks. That would have been so cool. That's so funny too. You just straight up
I
stone
know.
cold.
It was ironic because the guy that I fought, he actually was from. It was a last minute replacement that fight,
Yeah,
Ray
yeah, yeah.
Rodriguez, and he was from Texas, and Stone Cold's from Texas. So I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty ironic how it worked out.
Did you have it planned out for a while, or is that one of the things where you thought of like the week of, like, well, fuck it, let's do this?
No, I kind of planned it out. It wasn't too far from the fight, but I kind of was like, I'm bald. Stone Cold's bald. He was my favorite wrestler growing up when I was a kid. I was a huge fan, and like he was the guy for me. And I just loved his whole character, like the middle fingers and like getting in
Oh
Vince
yeah.
McMahon's face. And the things he would say. I wish, like we were saying before, I wish I could have like the jacket, and like the knee braces on and come out like full fledged character Stone Cold style.
Did you try
Like
to
it would
get
have
some
been lit.
Modelo's in there for afterwards, slam them and pound them, or they would not let that?
That's what I was. Yeah, I was telling my quarters like, yo, we should have it where you throw like some couple waters over, and I smash because we only have waters. They won't
Yeah.
give me the beers.
They won't give you the Modelo? Come on, that's like the
they,
biggest
sh-
sponsor.
I know they should. I should have. I should have asked for something like that. That would have been the end sequence for the whole thing. Stone Cold stun the cornerman and then have the beers thrown over. It
Oh my lord. Hey, you
would
never
have
know.
been
If
unbelievable.
you're notice a Stone Cold guy, you could do it again.
Yeah,
Repeat.
yeah, that's right.
There's a lot of
That's true.
opportunities going forward, but here's so for your last fight with Ricky Simone, like you guys a lot of back and forth, and afterwards you said, "I want to smoke a J with Brian." Did you guys smoke a J?
No, we didn't even get to it, man. I thought it would have been cool because you go through a war with this person, like you develop like some sort of relationship, whatever. And he was a cool dude. We kind of had fun banter back and forth. I thought it was like a lot of fun leading up to the fight, so I thought that would have been cool. But like, what happens is after these fights, like you're getting taken for interviews. He's going this way, you're going that way. I had to get stitched up, so I was in there getting stitched up, and then and then you don't really see the person. Like
Yeah.
with the COVID situation, they have us go like separate ways and in individual cars and like back to your hotel in the room, and you have to kind of quarantine. Like there was all rules set in place, so it's hard to kind of get away and find the person. But I ended up having to leave that night as well. My flight was like later on that night, so I didn't really get time to stay and enjoy that.
Oh, that sucks. That
But I
sucks.
smoked one for him when I got back.
There you go.
Yeah.
And speaking of that fight too, like I know obviously the game is, he's one of those guys I feel like that kind of tries to do the whole 3 round least resistance. It's like, I mean, what's the mindset when you're just kind of being held on the ground? This is kind of like, God damn, I got to get up, and you just can't get up. Like, what is that just demoralizing?
Yeah, it is a little bit. If, like looking back at that fight, I know exactly what was going on, and it was really that like I never been cut in my career, so like it was a new feeling to me, like having blood, dripping down in my eyes, and kind of understanding and dealing with that during the fight. And I feel like it distracted me way too much. Like I was kind of more concerned about the cut than I was winning the fight, and and he cut me like 30 seconds into the fight. It was early in the first round. I wasn't hurt, but it was just the fact that I knew I had a gash and it was in my vision a little bit for like a couple of minutes. That threw me off, and then for the rest of the fight, I feel like I went into like a survival mode rather than like a kill mode,
Yeah.
which is where you need to be, and I feel like that kind of threw me off. But he not to take anything away from him, like his wrestling, his timing on his takedowns, and his wrestling control was great, and I felt that pressure, and that was all him. But yeah, I was definitely not in the right mind space. But yeah, like once I decide I got to get up, I get up. I'm pretty good at getting up. I've never really been held down in a fight, like the whole fight. That was like the most I've been held down. And he's a high level wrestler. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a big guy too for the weight class, strong. So he did a great job at that. But yeah, it's demoralizing sometimes when you can't get out of that position and reverse things, and you got to kind of be patient and wait.
Wasn't the cut kind of off like a fluke thing too, or did he hit you with an elbow? I cannot remember.
No, it was a crisp. It was like a solid elbow, and watching it back, it was actually really technical the way that he did it. It was like he got lazy with like his wrist, and I kind of went to grab his wrist. He was grabbing my wrist, and he let go and just came over with the elbow. Like
Oh.
he swam his wrist over and came down, and it sliced me. Like I didn't even see it happen. It just was like Nick, and that was it. And I was like, all right, I feel like he hit me good, and then I started feeling the blood. I was like, oh no, he got me.
And then here's kind of a weird question, but like obviously we talked about this earlier, like how when you get knocked out sometimes, like it may not be like the hardest punch. Who's like the hardest guy you've ever fought? Like who's hit you the hardest?
Well, the only guy that's ever knocked me out, John Lineker.
Really? So it was a hard ass punch. It was
Yeah, that every punch that guy threw was like making me second guess myself. Like he had some crazy freakish power that I've never felt till this day. I and he's not a big guy. He's short and compact, and he's fought at 125 before. But when I was in there with him, I had fought at 45 in the past and 35. I fought bigger guys, I fought powerful guys, but nobody felt like that. There was something special about like his power in there, and the fact that he could throw power in every shot that he throws throughout the duration of the fight. Like it's a dangerous guy, you know what I mean? So I felt that danger throughout that whole fight, and it was something different. I never felt it till this day. I mean, there's been guys that have hit me hard for sure, but not where I actually thought to myself, like, whoa, like this is different. Watch, be careful.
damn, that's crazy. I've heard from different fighters different things. Like, yeah, this guy knocked me out. It's just kind of a clean punch, but this other guy hit me harder. That's interesting though. It's always different, which I find fascinating. And speaking of
Yeah,
the
and,
weight,
and I mean, honestly, usually you don't. It doesn't have to be the hardest punch, but it's like the one you don't see is usually the ones
yeah,
that can really hurt you.
because you can't prepare for it. It's just one of those
Yeah,
things.
you can't
Yeah.
prepare. If you're moving a certain way and a hook comes from the side, I feel like those are the ones that are the worst. Straight punches, not as much unless it lands like here where it snaps your neck. If your neck snaps, that's the worst.
Oh, you also talked about weight classes earlier too. I know you fucking hate weight cutting and think you should be killed from the sport, but you still do it. Is it one of those things you just kind of hope one day they kill it, or is it just what are you at with that?
Yeah, it's one of those things like you can complain about it and talk about it and try to reason with it, but it's one of those things. Every fighter has to be on the same page, and
Yeah.
that's the same thing with like unionizing the sport. Similar thing, it's like some fighters are okay with how much they cut. Some fighters are built different. Some fighters are have a different body frame and can move up a weight class and feel fine about it. And that's always the answer. If you complain about weight cutting, people just tell you, well, then move up a weight, and it's not that easy. It's like if I move up a weight class, I'm putting myself at a disadvantage against someone who does cut weight, that does it right, that puts that size back on, that has a way bigger body frame than me at 145, that is going to have a reach advantage, a size advantage, possibly a strength advantage. Of course, I'd love to go up and not cut the weight and hinder myself, but now I'm fighting, a complete different size disadvantage and stuff like that. But I think they should have it where we all are just, completely hydrated, 100% healthy, going into these fights where there's, no damage done beforehand. I mean, we're like depleting ourselves to the point where like, your brain is not necessarily fully recovered by the time you get in the cage to fight. And it's like, I don't understand why that's even where that fits in the sport. It's like no other sport really does this. And
No, not at
especially with
all.
this kind of danger, I
Yeah.
don't get it.
So I got one more question before we do like kind of like a rapid fire thing. So like you have a pretty cool story with how you got into the UFC. Like you were on like a 5 fight lose streak, something like that. And then something just clicked and you started winning everything and you eventually got into the UFC. Like what was that thing that changed your mindset that got you, kind of just completely switched your career trajectory?
Yeah, for me, like I was, like you said, I was on that losing streak. I kind of realized like I was in a, a time crunch. Like, okay, I'm getting to the age now where like I'm either making a run at this or I'm gonna get a regular job and like go a different route, and just be a regular, average guy that just works the 9 to 5. And I knew in my heart like I did not want to do that. I was never happy, working at these different places I had. So I was like, man, I have to make this happen. Like I have to make this happen right now, or else I'm gonna be stuck in a situation where I'm unhappy and I'm chasing something else in life just to make live paycheck to paycheck. And I just couldn't accept that. And I was like, I was working a full time job at the time, and it was motivating me because at this place I wasn't happy. I didn't want to be there, but I was like, I need to make a paycheck, and pay my bills and whatever it was and get myself to the gym. And I would leave work, like literally just zoom out of work excited to train, and when I was working there, I went on a nice 5 6 fight win streak where to me, I think it was just knowing that I wanted this 100%, being dedicated to it full fledged, and knowing that it was my out from either, to me is like a like being in jail is like working a regular job 9 to 5, and then like being free is like making my dream happen, and becoming successful with what I love to do, and that was fighting. So I just, man, I was so motivated and so focused, and I was letting nothing deter me. And it was one of those things where I had a chip on my shoulder, and I probably seemed like an asshole to a lot of people around me, but it's the sacrifices, man. You got to be 100% all in, or else it's not going to happen. So I went for it, 100%. And when I went in these fights, I carried this energy with me. Like I can't let someone steal this dream, like steal this opportunity from me. And it was all in my hands. So man, it was amazing. I went on that big win streak. Dana White looking for a fight. I was on that show where he saw me cage side, and then they signed me like a year later, and I got my debut in Brazil, and it was just amazing, man.
And then you won by guillotine. The
Yeah, yeah.
trademark.
Back to the guillotine. What else is
It
new?
all revolves around the guillotine. No,
Yeah,
that's super cool though. I feel that though with the whole like you have to go all in for it. Like I can't work a 9 to 5. Like I mean I just kind of work my own hours. Like I'm working on a Sunday. We're doing this on a Sunday afternoon. Like it's just if you want to do something you really love and you don't want to work a 9 to 5, that motivation, I don't even know how to describe it because I feel that 1,000% because I'm never working a 9 to 5 because I fucking hate that.
dude. And it's like it's mainly the freedom aspect, the to be able to be free to like choose your times, what you want to do with your day. Like it just must, it sucks to have to be like set times every day, like this to this, and then you get home, you're drained, and it's like the night's over. It's like you can't really, set. Like I'm so blessed to be able to have my own schedule. I could change it up anytime I want, as long as I work hard and I train hard and I'm focused. Like I'm good.
And then every single day is different, which is the other good thing too. It's like you're not like gonna consistent. Like, all right, I got corporate meeting Monday, Tuesday. I got to meet my team. Blah 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 blah. Like it's awesome. So yeah,
Yeah, and it doesn't really feel like a job, like it feels like I'm just working out every day, Like
yeah.
sometimes it feels like it gets monotonous like anything else, but like in the big, in the long run, it's like okay, I'm going to the gym twice a day, and then I'm going for a run. Like I like to feel that those endorphins and feel that feeling of training hard and getting done with a hard session. So to me, it's like there's nothing really better. You got one life to live.
Oh, 100%. And then for you too, you're literally training so because this other guy's trying to kill you. You're in your mindset, you're
Yeah.
like, dude, I gotta train so this guy doesn't kill me and I can kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that too. So it does get stressful at times. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not. I don't mean to make it sound easy, but
No,
that's
no.
the realness to it. Is like
Yeah.
you said, like you're training to like survive and make sure that you get, first off, we get paid, to show, and then paid to win. So you want to get two paychecks.
Not one.
You might get one if you lose, and that's a lot of money. That's half of what you would have made. So it's like all those things factor in, and it's easy to stay motivated when you know all those things come into play.
And then also you're fighting for like, I'll say if I lose, at least I can put on a fight of the night and get that second paycheck too. So like
Yeah,
you're fighting for
get
that
the
stuff. I mean,
bonus.
your business is booming. Like you get
Business is booming,
business is
baby.
booming. We get a lot of
I
extra
like
pay.
it. You know all my catchphrases and everything. There we go.
Dude, hell yeah. I'm not a shitty little interviewer like some people. Let's go through some quick stuff real quick. You can take long answers. These are just dumb questions I thought of that I like to ask people. Do you have any weird pre-fight rituals? Like, do you got to take a shit? Do you like things like
Oh yeah.
that?
A bunch of shits. That's I don't know if that's ritual or just uncontrolled, nerves that like it's ridiculous. But I don't really have like a ritual where like if I don't do this thing, I'm gonna feel like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like something's
Yeah.
off. But I do have things, I like to try to meditate, like fight day. I'll like meditate a little bit. I'll read. I'll kind of do things to calm my mind and make it seem like more like a normal day than like holy shit, I'm about to go to war with someone today. Like because that can overtake your mind and really throw you off. I try to be in a happy place. Listen to music that makes me feel good vibes, and like go for a walk, get out in nature a little bit, stuff like that. And those things seem to help me a lot. But no like pre-fight rituals where like I'm in the locker room and like I have to do this.
Do you listen to your own music or you listen to other people's music?
No, I listen to just random music. Like I like
Random.
Meek Mill. Meek Mill gets me all.
Dude, he's
I'm
all
not
hype.
good enough to listen to myself.
Yeah.
I like some Meek Mill, and like sometimes I'll go into some house music. Like if I'm doing cardio, I like house music. Like
Like
gets me
it's the
lost.
heartbeat, like it keeps it going. Like I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe it. Because when I do cardio, if I have listened to house music, I feel like I do better than if I listen to like rap.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like if
It's
I
all about
go
that
for a
BPM.
run, it's like you just don't want to stop.
Yeah.
You're escalating.
Yeah, oh, yeah, 100%. What's the weirdest question you've ever been asked? Either be press conference, podcast, whatever. What's been like the weirdest question you've ever been asked? Where you're just
Uh,
like, dude, did you really just fucking ask that?
I don't know. I can't think of one specifically. Yeah, I don't know.
Never been
I don't
stumped like
know.
that? All right. What's the worst question you've ever been asked? You have to have one in your head. You're just like, come on, dog.
The worst question ever is like how you feel, just like you're going through a weight cut. Like if you're in the midst of a weight cut and someone's like, hey man, how you feel, like how's the weight cut going, you're just like, fuck man, like please,
How
like
annoying is
no.
that? Like every single fight week. Like I asked you before this how you do, and just because it's just
I get
courtesy
it,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm not gonna put that on here because literally every fucking MMA reporter asks, "How's the weight cut? You feeling good?
Yeah,
You ready for the fight this week?" Like, come on,
yeah.
you gotta get
I know,
creative.
it's like the most obvious answered questions, like the answer, like we're just gonna say we feel great, best training camp ever, you know weight cut, it's going smooth, I'm right where I need to be, but really we're stressing out, we're like panicking about the weight cut, we're dehydrated.
Oh yeah, I had the best camp ever, but really I have two shin splints. If I throw a kick a certain way, I'm probably gonna
Yeah,
completely split my ankle. Just
yeah, but I can't
you're not
tell
gonna
you
give
all
that.
that.
Yeah, exactly. You can't say all that.
Yeah.
When are you gonna be in the UFC game?
I don't know, man. I'm pissed off. They're leaving me out on a lot of things. They're leaving me out on the video game. They left me out on the cards. The Panini cards are out
What the
now and
fuck?
all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't know. I thought I was like a pretty fan favorite. I feel like my style, my fighting style is exciting to watch and stuff. But they've been leaving me hanging, man. I gotta have a word with somebody. I don't know who it is, but hopefully I'm in the next one.
We'll start a petition if they don't get it out here soon. And the next video,
Yeah,
if you're not on the video game soon, or if you don't have any cards, you gotta start a
I
petition.
know.
That's some bullshit. When are you gonna get the trademark like name on the back of your tattoo and name of your back?
Oh no, I'm never
Never
doing
gonna
that.
do that. I feel like that's just I love those tattoos because
I
it's
got the
like
boom.
you got the boom at least on your knuckles. But my favorite
Yeah,
thing is like when guys get the tattoos on the back of their name. I don't know if this is they do this for this reason, but it looks like almost like a jersey, so you can tell which
yeah,
fighter's
yeah,
which.
yeah.
I love that
Some
shit.
some guys have that. A bunch of UFC
Oh, a bunch of
fighters
guys
have
do.
that.
I don't know if they
Kelleher might be too long. I'd have to get it like real thin letters. I'm not that big
could
of a
just do
guy.
boom with like an
Yeah, just boom.
explosion.
That's true. Yeah, I get the boom with the grenades. That's like my logo. So
Yeah, that'd be
that
sick.
looks sick.
That would actually look pretty sick. No, I think I love when
Yeah,
guys do
I feel
that.
like if I get a back tattoo, I just got to go all in, like my whole entire back.
And then one last question I got for you is why did you not want to go to Fight Island?
Um, so actually, this stems back to like when I first got in the UFC. I had like a situation with flying or whatever that I was very anxious to fly,
Yeah.
and they were sending me to Brazil, my first fight, and I actually had an incident that I only talked about this a couple times, couple interviews. I got on the plane and literally this is my dream about to happen. I get on this plane to go to Brazil and I get off the plane before it leaves. I had gotten like an anxiety attack and I was like, I can't do this. Like I can't leave on this thing. Cause like I guess it had something to do with maybe knowing how long the flight was and being anxious at the same time, like really threw me off. And I started to
Yeah.
panic and I got off the plane. Now my dad was going to my fight. He was already in Brazil because he had took the flight before me because of like just flight, different situation like with the money and stuff like that, and the flight was booked full so he couldn't get on my flight. So now my dad's in Brazil and I have to tell him, Dad, I'm sorry, like I had a anxiety attack. I got off the plane and it was a nightmare, man. I just like was like I have to go. I'm gonna first off, my dad's over there by himself in Brazil, foreign country, and like he's panicked. And now my dream, I'm about to like fuck up my whole dream. So I get on the next flight, and I had to take a Xanax to just get through this.
Yeah.
And I don't like taking stuff like that. It just like messes with your head a little bit. I really didn't like how I felt, but I needed to get over there. So I was like, I got to do whatever it takes. And I got over that, I got over that over time, getting used to flying and stuff. So now I don't have that issue. But that like Fight Island, I just didn't want to deal with that. Like 14 hours, whatever, however long. Now you're dealing with a complete time change, and you're fighting there at like 6 a.m. This time, but like you got to
Yeah, yeah,
adjust to
yeah,
all
yeah.
that. So it was just a nightmare, and I was trying to avoid that at all costs if I could, and I got lucky. I did.
I mean, it would have been cool, but yeah, I completely get that. Like, flying
It's a
sucks.
cool experience, but I
Yeah.
just like, dude, it's cool for the outsider looking in. But when you cut weight and stuff, and you know what fighting is, what it takes to get up and lead up to that, like, it's hard to even take in. Like, oh, I'm in a Fight Island. This is beautiful. Like, you're like, no, I'm in a weight cut. I'm stuck in a hotel quarantine, and it's not as like cool as it
You
seems,
don't
I
really get to
guess.
enjoy it. Like, it's like, well, because
Yeah,
you're cutting, and then by the time you're done, you're like, all right, you're out. Like the next day.
yeah, you're out. You're out the next morning.
Like,
Unless you decide to stay. But
yeah, which kind of would kind of suck. But anyway, that's what I got for you. You got a fight here in about a week. How we finishing it? I know you're gonna finish. Business is always booming.
yeah. Well, no, my fight's August 21st, so I got like 5 weeks,
No,
I think.
that was supposed to be like because we're airing this the week before.
Oh God, my
We'll
bad.
cut.
Oh my
We'll
God.
cut. We'll cut. We'll
We'll cut
cut.
it. We'll cut it.
Restart.
See, that's how smart I am.
So you got to You got to fight next week. How we finishing it? Business is always booming. How's it gonna boom this time?
Yeah, this guy, yeah, he's kind of on a skid. His back's against the wall. I feel like that brings out danger, and like I kind of like that. I want to meet fire with fire. Like that's just my fighting style. Like let's look for the finish. I could see myself submitting this guy. Like I know he's not the best wrestler, decent jujitsu, but I'm definitely gonna put my pressure on him, be in his face, move forward, heavy shots, and look to either land a submission or if I hit him with something hard, I think he goes down.
All right, for all my degenerate gamblers out there, take Keller inside the decision. So,
Boom, baby.
so that's it. We finished it up. If you want to promote anything, we just promoted your fight. Shoot your for your music, for your social media, all you.
Yeah, no, guy, I appreciate the interview. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Brian Boom 135. I want to thank my sponsors. We got Extend, which is my supplement sponsor, Vita Cryotherapy. We got CBD Living, CBD sponsor. So thank you guys for that, and thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
All right, for me, for Boom, we're out. Peace.